everybody, thanks for stopping by my channel. So I thought I would do a quick how I set myself up for success. Now over time what works for me has changed, and I'm sure many of you have found the same thing. I find these little things that start to work, and then something happens to change, something comes up and it doesn't work for me anymore and I need to change it. So for right now, at this season in my life, I'm going to show you a few things that I keep around me to make sure that I can be as successful as I can be. The first thing, everything starts with this. Washi tape. Think I'm crazy? Let me show you. Hang on. So, this is one of the reasons washi tape works for me so well. This is number one. Hang on, I'll show you a close-up clip of it. Now first, I have to say this is not an original idea. I have to thank Johna at Jo, thisthat, and I will try to remember to link her channel down below, because I've been searching for many ways to track my food reliably, successfully, and something I can be consistent with. Now, I do use my app, but sometimes, it's a pain in the butt to pull my phone out to keep looking, okay, where do I stand for the day? What do I have left? Sometimes the app doesn't work and I need to guess, or, things just don't work very well if I don't get reception. There's just a whole bunch of things all the way around that made it necessary for me to have something else I can visibly see. The key for me is visibility. Everything must be visible. And I don't mean like put it in a book and put the book on the table. I must see it. So here in my office, I am surrounded by things that are important to me that keep me focused. First and foremost is God. I have crosses and Bibles and devotionals everywhere in this room, along with CD Bible studies, praise and worship music. All that is around here. The second thing is anything to keep me focused on my weight loss. I can see it on every wall except for this wall behind me, and that I can actually see only in my webcam, and that's my family. Every other thing on this wall is God and weight loss goals and things I want to achieve. This is my space to remind myself and to keep myself focused, and this is a space I spend the most time in. Now, all that being said, Johna, I had been watching her videos, and I loved the fact that A, you can use any notebook. B, I can dress it up no matter what way I want, whatever colors I want. It all depends on my washi tape selection, and believe me, I got quite a bit. So what I do is, for you to see, I don't have very far ahead. I do a week at a time, and this one is ready for fill-in. I do a week at a time. I change the color by week. I change the color by mood. Sometimes if I don't feel like changing the color, I don't change the color at all. So all I have is, of course, my date, and then up in this tape square it says how many daily points I get, how many weekly points I get, and the points I've budgeted for the day. Now I'll explain that part in a minute. And then it breaks it down by breakfast, lunch, dinner, and at the very bottom is my snacks. Over here is my activity and any notes to myself. This happens to be July 9th. This day I happen to be really craving burgers and fries, like really badly, and my husband didn't want them, so I ended up reheating my fish for dinner that was left over from a restaurant meal, and actually it kind of sucked. Mostly because it wasn't the cheeseburger and fries I craved, but secondly because it just was gross as a reheat. It was disgusting. However, it also says that I made my zucchini pizza, and I really, really, really liked it. Yes, I did, because it was darn tootin'. Just so good. Oh my goodness, I could eat that every day. But anyway, off topic. So this journal is first and foremost my number one step. If nothing else can go with me, this can go with me anywhere. and I can make it in a big notebook, I can make it in a small notebook, I can just put this in anything. And the same format would carry over to a smaller notebook as well. So this is step 1. Hang on, I'll grab step 2. Back again, are you ready? First, I have to clarify something because I just realized it sounded really bad. My family you can see over my shoulder. Now, I did not mean to imply they're behind me so they're unimportant. I put them behind me for a reason, because the people who support you are behind you 100%. My family does support me as much as they are able, as much as they know how. My family supports me, and that for me is really important. So I put them behind me for a reason. That was not to imply that they are not important to me and they are not important to my success. That was just that was a personal symbol to myself that my family is behind me, even when I don't always know it and they don't always know everything they can do. Now that we've got that little tidbit out of the way and corrected, let me show you something else. And oh, the dog licked it, so apparently he likes marker. So this is my second thing. I don't know how well you can see that. Gosh, I hate this camera. But okay, so you'll get the idea. Hang on, I'm going to put a close-up of what it looks like blank, and then what it looks like filled in right here. So you'll notice that on the board, I'm just going to read from it right now just because it's just easier for me to look at this. So all these lines are washi tape. This top here, the silver writing, and the days of the week, those are all written in permanent marker. Everything else is dry erase. Oops, as I just erased it with my thumb. But, so as you'll notice, I currently get 33 smart points per day and 42 weeklies. Now, people are doing this thing called the Wendy plan, but I guess it just like picks some weeklies and chucks them in there in your day or closer to your weigh-in day, or I'm not entirely certain how it works, but naturally I have gravitated toward a plan similar to that because I know that my weigh-in day is Thursday, and I naturally use most of my weeklies Thursday through Sunday. Don't use them all. I use about a little more than half of them, but I don't use them all. So naturally, I have figured that, most of them are my weigh-in day, and then there's less as we go, and then I use a little less than my daily points the day before weigh-in. I've done that continuously. That's worked very well for me. Something I started doing when I did Weight Watchers in the first time, and I just find it works well with my schedule. Now, the weekends, I never know what we're doing. My husband likes to go out. I like to go out. We're with family. There's functions on the weekend. But I also know that when I'm at work, Monday through Thursday to Friday, depending on my schedule, I know that I don't have, I eat very well on schedule. So, I just naturally gravitate towards something similar to the Wendy plan. So what I did was, I just put the numbers that I allot myself right here in the beginning. And then, as I use them, I write down what I actually used, and then how many fit points I earned. Let's see. And then the steps, right here, the steps that I did and my activity. So, as I go, I also track my fit point goal and what I am currently at for a fit point goal, and then just erase it and put in the new number. This is stuck to my wall with command strips that are like Velcro, so I can easily pull it off, write it, push it back on, good to go. Now, I will say I did want to keep this on my cabinet, but when I was pushing on the cabinet door to get the board to stick again, the door would like bend and the cabinet would move, and right now my cabinet's not anchored to the wall in any way, which we're going to fix, but right now it's not anchored to the wall, so I didn't want to break my cabinet door or dump my cabinet over. So its new home is on the wall, and if I decide to move it, those little command strips come right off and I can move it. Not a big deal. Everything on my walls, including those pictures behind me, are held up with command strips. That shelf that's over there is not held up with command strips. Just saying, it's not. So now, again, the washi tape keeps it interesting for me and it allows me to not have to draw in all those lines all the time. It's more interesting than Sharpie. It will remove should I choose to change color or whatever. It gets dirty, whatever, it will come off. So that board is another success step for myself. Hang on, I'll show you something else. So the next success step for me, and thing I like to keep around, is this. Now this is my weight chart, and as you'll see, there's washi all the way around it. Now this has recorded my weigh-ins from day 1. Now my next weigh-in coming up is the 19th weigh-in. It tells me the date, the weight, whether it was a gain or a loss, and how much, and it tells me my total weight loss. And again, this is kept visible. I also have these little five stickers for every 5 pounds. I put one on here, and I think I have 10, 25, 50, 100, and I think that's it. Maybe 125 was my last one, because I have, gosh, I have 120 until I get to where the doctor wants me to be. I have 130 to where I get to where I want me to be. But anyway, and then there's just a little reminder down at the bottom for myself to focus. Now this stays actually right behind you up here on my wall, and it stays up there with a calendar page that acts as like a planner, a copy of my planner. Tells me what's, typical calendar things. Bills are due, birthdays, anniversaries, vacations, you name it, it's on there. But that too is decorated with stickers and washi. So another thing that I keep with me, or I keep visible, I should say, not with me, is this. This is it's a weight, I guess, more or less a weight chart, but using washi, I cross off the weight as I lose it. So when I lose this full pound and I'm finally down here, I will cross that off with more washi or a sticker or what have you. And then I just found a little saying I clipped out of a magazine, says dig a little deeper. Just, again, reminders to myself. That's what this is all about. And then my bold numbers are goals that I have. Those are my mini goals. So it's all about keeping myself focused and reminded, no matter what way I look, no matter what I look at, it is reminding me to stay in focus and on goal. Now, the one thing that I do have that has nothing to do with washi, that is I guess a motivator, reminder, etc. for me, is this. This is my Fitbit sync. Now, I know people have like the wristy pedometers and the Fitbits and whatnot. I, due to my job, cannot have anything on my wrist. And I can't wear that anywhere but inside my pocket. So I have to wear it turned inside out, because if it comes out of the holder, I need to know that it has not contaminated anything in any way, as I work with chocolate on a daily basis. Yep. Chocolate. I make truffles, fudge, well, I should say not just myself, but myself and my partner within my department make truffles, fudge, creams, barks, anything confection and candy. That's what we do, and I cannot have this on my wrist at all. So the sync works really well for me. I check it constantly. It tells me how well I'm doing, and then my app syncs, and again, that information is transferred to my board that I showed you as I fill out through during the week. Hang on, I have one more thing. Be right back. Okay guys, this is the last thing, and there are a bunch of other little things, but these are the biggest things. And this one you might not understand at first, but this is the last thing. Yep, it's my planner. And no, I don't use this as my fitness and food journal, believe it or not. The other thing that really holds me back is a lot of stuff up in my head, be it my work schedule, what's going on at work, the things I need to get done at home, and I have goals at home that I like to do as well. So, let me just show you, this is one of my weeks. This whole thing, and I'll post a close-up after, but this is my week's spread for the week of July 11th through the 17th. And, hang on, you know what, it'll be easier for you to understand if I show you a close-up. Be right back. Okay, so now that you can see what I'm talking about, you notice the front half of the week has my cleaning schedule. I'm going to go get groceries, and then it has my goals, things I want to do that I check off every day. Now, this cleaning schedule does take up most of my column. That's because I am a body with a lot of, I'm an asthmatic with allergies. Now, we live in a single-wide mobile home. We have forced air, and there's a dirt road right outside. We also have 2 dogs. So, as an asthmatic who is allergic to dust and dogs, I really need to make sure that my cleaning is as good as I can get it. That doesn't mean that when you walk in, my house is going to be spotless all the time, because, let's face it, life happens, and sometimes I don't get to everything on my list, or sometimes it might look good when it's on my list to do, on my day to do, but, you know, later on down the road it doesn't, but I wait until the next time it comes around to do it. So, my weekends, my weekends, I don't typically clean, and I don't typically set anything in stone because my husband has off. That's when we take trips, go do what we want to do. Sometimes, right now, we are gone certain weekends taking care of his mother 3 hours away, so we don't plan the weekends. That's why there's so much of my cleaning that is so important during the week. Also, in the first half of the week on my sidebar, these are daily goals that I want to do every day, and I just check them off as I go. Now, why would that be important to my weight loss? Well, that is important to my weight loss because it's not stuck up here. It's not cluttering my head. I'm not so focused on that because it's written down that I totally can't focus on my eating plan, and I can see exactly what I do. I have a set, like, this is what I do every Monday, this is what I do every Tuesday, and I know that once I do that, I can stop. And I can focus on fitness or other things I like to do or other things that need to get done. So, it keeps me focused. It keeps me moving in the right direction. And I'm a person that if there's exterior clutter, interior there's clutter, and then I just stress out. I need space. I need clear space that allows me to live life and be who I am and not feel hemmed in. Now, we live in a single-wide mobile home. It already is small enough. I need space. I personally, I don't like to feel boxed in. So that breeds stress, and stress builds emotion, and I am also an emotional eater. If I have that area of my life clear and dealt with, I am 100% a different person. And something else that some people don't, I guess, stop maybe and think about is I am a person who needs time to myself to decompress, be it after work, after a road trip. I just need 20 to 30 minutes every day just to stop and do nothing for anybody that doesn't have to be done except for myself and what I need to do to creatively unwind, be it Bible study, prayer time, catching up on my YouTube subscriptions, just planning. Even planning for me, I love the process. I make my own stickers, and I don't have a Cricut, or not a Cricut, I don't have a Silhouette. So I cut all of my own stickers out with an X-Acto blade and a ruler, my sewing ruler. I like the process. Things like that are relaxing for me, repetitive, mindless. I have found that I am not one that can use adult coloring books, okay? I know, weird, right? Adult coloring books stress me out. And here's why. I am so focused on what color's gonna go where and what color am I gonna make this, and it didn't turn out just right. I cannot enjoy that process. Just saying, that is not something, I love to do it, but it stresses me out. I can't do the ones that have any sort of definite shape to them. I need those repetitive pattern ones, because it stresses me right the heck out. And I end up having to unwind from what's supposed to unwind me. Go figure, huh? I know. Weird. I write, I draw, whatever I need to do for my own personal time. And the reason for that is it took a hospital stay to wake me up to that. About, going on 15 years ago now, that has been a practice I started because I ended up in the hospital for exhaustion. I didn't recognize the signs of burnout. I was working, 10, 12 hours a day. I came home to 2 little boys. I have identical twins. Now they're 21, but at the time they were not. I came home after a long day of work. I took care of our animals. I took care of our 2 little boys. My husband has health issues. I took care of him, and it went like that constantly. It just went like that all the time. I had to deal with other things that came up, and my husband and I wanted to go places, so how can I tell him no, So for me, my health, part of my mental well-being, I need to take 20 to 30 minutes every day, and you might not. But Joe Schmo down the road might need to take an hour for himself. It's all about finding out what you need to decompress every day, because stress breeds nothing but anxieties, worries, and whatnot. And you know what ends up happening? You gain weight because you tend to eat it without even realizing it sometimes. Now, if you're someone who has recognized that in yourself, kudos, because it took me a long time and a hospital stay to do this. Hopefully none of you end up that way. Hopefully none of you ever tend to feel the effects of burnout. It really sucks. And thankfully I learned. It took a hard lesson, but I learned, and I've had to make myself a priority. Especially now that our boys have moved out, I have to make myself a priority, because if I don't, nobody else is going to. And that was a very hard lesson for me to learn, as it is for a lot of people. Alright, I've jawed your ear off enough. I hope these tips help, and leave me a comment what you think down below. Is there something that you do that I haven't mentioned, or something I mentioned that you hadn't thought of that you'd like to try? If there's something I can help with, be it a prayer, some other way I can help, please feel free to let me know down below. Like, subscribe, comment, share, the whole 9 yards. Come back and see me again, because there's always something different on my channel. We'll talk to y'all later.